All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you're accessing this recording. I hope you are doing very well. This is a quick feedback from myself to you on behalf of the entire team of UGRC 150, instructors, tutors, teaching assistants. Okay. We want to say congratulations. My name is Dr. Nancy Miles Bafo Jimfi, currently the coordinator for UGRC 150 critical thinking, practical reasoning, and also the examiner on behalf of the entire team of lecturers, like I said earlier, instructors teaching. We have now completed grading of the entire final exam for 2023 first semester main campus and College of Health Science students. These students are still yet to take your exam because your exam is later per your unit's schedule that has been shared. Okay. So I'm responding to some queries, questions, mostly because students are just not reading and it can get a bit frustrating. You may not always have, colleagues. I'm talking about my colleague lecturers or instructors having that time to do what some of you students, would expect them to do. When clear notices have been sent to you, you see, I want to stress that this is university. It is a training that you are being given. It's a discipline. Unless there isn't an announcement or a notice or clarification given on the subject matter, then you can access channels that have been given to you. But when there is clear notice and students still won't read one or will read and will decide to come and ask again, not for clarification, which is in order if you don't understand. But mostly it's like, I don't know, it's a very bad posture for those who have that habit. And I want to tell you, if you take that on through your university, training, you will have a difficulty. It is not because you don't know, but you have to have a posture that reads. And when you read, you take what the person is telling you seriously. It's university. So, for instance, if you were going to take an exam in any other course, okay, I'm addressing just a few, but because, like I said in my earlier recording, when I gave a feedback on the interim assessment, I said we are dealing with a course that is university wide. Think of it like WASI, West African, exam. It's not for your school at so and so place in some corner in Accra or some corner in the northern region or some corner in the eastern or western region. That's your particular school's end of semester exams. No, it is for West African, So it's not even a Ghanaian thing. I'm referencing Wasi now. If you have that mindset, you'll understand why you don't want to call for some special treatment for yourself or some special deadlines for you and not for others because you 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 got into traffic at your judge. It's work. It's worse. Now, if you bring that same thinking, don't think of the UGRCs, this one included. I take my time to give students feedback because I think sometimes it is not because um, students didn't know, but they don't take it serious what they read. UGRCs, look at their name, they are University of Ghana required courses. It is for everyone that is taking a degree in the university. Okay, and therefore it is not department specific. And I have said this over and over again, and I'm sure that most students will hear, and yet there are still a few that don't understand the implications of that. What that means is that when a notice goes out, go to so and so place and write an interim assessment, for example. You don't sit there and say, okay, after all, I can go and see the lecturer later and ask him or her to make me write. I told you, no, it's not done that way. There is one examiner all the time that is connected to the course. Examiner means the one that enters the system, uploads results, uh, deals with queries, even where there is a team that is teaching it, a team of faculty, well, you know, uh, qualified faculty. But that is how the university system works. So when the notice comes out, it is so clear for your own sake, not for us. Now, thankfully, most of you did very well. I'm projecting currently, if you look into my Sakai, I'm showing some announcements that were given. Look at the name. It is called a makeup. The current one that I'm projecting at the top here. Makeup assessment 1 and 2, because the final exam is not in contention at all. I mean, there were your short answer questions and then your MCQs. Like we said, there will be. MCQ means multiple choice questions. This is not a place to tell you that. Even if you didn't know, the announcement that uh, informed you of the interim assessment, apart from the ones that were on the course outline or was constantly repeated in lectures, even if you didn't hear all of those, and you didn't think you should Google to find MCQ, or you did all those, it is clearly stated that people must read that one. I don't know if it is the pre-SHS folks that have come in. I want to caution you, even after you have made it in this first semester critical thinking, I presuppose that you are taking other courses. Have a culture of reading. Read the stuff before you sign. Because you are going to sit at places of authority. You will sign documents. You will append your signature. You will agree to things. You will be moved by beliefs and policies. Did you read it? The prescription, the expiry date on the product, what you are leading others along to pick and accept. Because they see you as an intellectual, you are high up, the enlightened. When you say, oh, the Bible says so and so, the Quran says so and so, did you read it yourself? Or you just heard people saying something? Is that what is written there? You see, read. I don't know why. Because most of the queries, and that is where I will now go straight to the content in the announcement, at least for the interim assessment. Look at them, it's a makeup. Makeup. It means assessment had already been done. But as late as March 16th, look at the date. This is still there. And it's accessible to every student of the course because people have now put their their complete marks together, and a few people are a bit, their pressure is going a little bit high. They say, hey, I would need the assessment one, I would need the assessment two. Oh, doc, please, I missed the assessment. And then I asked the student, what about the makeup? I won't even bring up all the other concerns that I could raise to tell you that you can't come and do an 11-week course in 2 weeks. No. But granted, you let's even overlook that and say that this is an Einstein of a student who would take the course, the 11-week semester course in 2 weeks, no problem. Did you do the makeup to make it up, what you have lost? Did you do it? The student said, no, 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 you didn't open it. And then look at the answer, you didn't open a makeup. I wasn't even obliged to, but just in case you think I was obliged to. Who says I didn't? Look at this there. It's there. March 16, 2023. 3:04 a.m. It was open. Look at the notice. Dear main campus student, the same is the case at um, College of Health Science students platform. Okay. A makeup assessment 1 at the test and quizzes 2, a makeup assessment 2 at the assignment have been opened for only, look at this, only students who had no submission for these 2 assessments. This is written the students who already had submission, when to take it. The 2 opened at once. Look at the clarity given. If you already submitted a response for any of these assessments and attempt another, not even do another, you attempt it because the system will pick it. And I'm showing them to your friends. I mean, those who, well, doc, please, I am not seeing it. I said, look, the system is not a human being. It's a system, it's a machine. So the code we put, when we tell it to do this and do that and do that, it will do it. You can't go and bribe the system. You can't go and say, look, please, no. So you were cautioned in clear terms. Look at it. This assessment and attempt another. You will score a 0. Look at the 0, highlighted, underlined, for that assessment. For that assessment. So just in case you had assessment 1 already done. This is March 16th. We're almost finishing the semester. But people had missed it, and we can understand. We here, referring to me, myself, and the examining team, can understand that if you missed assessment 1, 10 marks, and you missed assessment 2, 10 marks, that is already 20 marks gone. You are now going to do an IA. You don't know how you will fare there. There are MCQs there, multiple choice questions, objectives, multiple objectives there, plus short answers. The objectives are straightforward. If we release marks for objectives, let's say 30%, 20 of them were objectives, and you got 6. It is not a matter of, dog, please relook at my thing. Relook at what? A, B, C, D answers. If you chose A, should I go and make it B like C or D like A? No, if it's wrong, it's wrong. That is why we put in some short answers so that it helps us see your mind to be able to tweak it here and there a bit. Just because where there is a straight objective, no, excluded middle kind of option. If you choose A and it's wrong, you could get 3/30. So we manage that well because we have to give you different ways of what assessment to test your critical thinking abilities. But you will need home assessments, the open book ones, the mark from that, to give you a good base. So we open this again, March 16th. Look at when we wrote our final exam. What's April? That should tell you it was just about 2 weeks or a week to end the semester or something. We opened it, put all the 2 there at once. So if you read this, you will know. And a lot of people took advantage. Over 600, 800 students took advantage. But I told you that those who had already done it and still went to do it again, you will have yourself to blame. It's not us, it's the system. It will keep only the last submission. If you already have one and you did it, it will record as 0. Then I'm receiving emails, Doc, please, my assessment 2 hasn't been graded. Why are you asking me that? What should I do? I'm not happy with it for you, but I can't help you. Because the help I gave out there, look, I said it's like WAEC. So you don't go into a system and start deleting, I think that this person may have a submission, but let me delete this. You don't do that. You don't. I'm talking, when I say you don't, the instructor doesn't have that mandate to enter into a system and be deleting things. Submissions from student. Why? I could delete your good mark also, if that were permitted. So the instruction was so clear. And then to help people not to just arbitrarily go in there, just to inspire some confidence to go look for an announcement about it. I put a password on it. I said, for the makeup assessment 1 at the test and quizzes 2, the password is this. I put a password there. Why? So that before you even key in the password, you will be tempted to read because you are going to put in it like ATM card. You want to see what it is that you're going to do before you put in there. So you don't just go there and go and open and mess up your mark that you earned. Then I tell you later, take note of the due date of each assessment. As at yesterday, when I'm I'm mopping up the exam grading and what have you, with your hundreds and hundreds of queries coming, one person sends about 20 messages on the same matter. So disrespectful. I said it is not everybody, but there are traits and characters that I want to put on record to help the generality of the class and the student body, that it is part of the critical thinking. You do critical thinking, you don't learn it only. It is a way of doing things. You think critically about something before you do it. So it is a skill. That's why it is required of you. It's not just for you to come and end the grade and go. So if you know that this email is serving the public, the university public, you know that. Not your private email. And you post the same subject matter question, maybe a query, maybe some clarification you seek, no problem. It might even have been dealt with, but maybe you didn't understand, no problem. But you alone, you post it 20 times into that email. Very disrespectful, very, what is it? I want to be decorous. But it's not a sign of an enlightened person at all. Why? Is it your personal thing? It's a space for others. So you put your query there. Maybe there was an error, you thought that I didn't come through. Another one is fine. I ignore those. One person can send the same message 16 times. You think it is the repetitive nature of it that will make someone. I sit by the email and address them myself. There is a team taking care of other queries. But I take it that as soon as this query gets to my email, it means there is something that the person believes you can address for them because of the permissions that each instructor and each whatever tutor or TA has. So if the thing has gone to the TA, maybe the TA addressed it, but you felt that, oh, this one I should ask the examiner directly. So that email is managed by myself. I don't give it to anyone to do it. I'm there to serve the student body, okay, as the coordinator of the course, UGS 150, and the examiner. So if a student wants some clarification, I address it. Now you alone, out of the over whatever, thousands of students, you alone, you send one query, the same thing, no, it's not a different thing, 16 times. And I open each one of them. I don't take it. I see that this is a repeated use. Sometimes after two other persons send, the same person sends again. But because of how I work, of course, I am able to pull that set out. The same thing. And I repeat each one of them. Those who have done that know that. Very embarrassing. A university student. No. Respect that. Because the person will respond to it. If I won't respond to it, I won't put my email out there. And I do. And you know that. Okay. So I'm saying that when we are doing the email thing and grading the exam, then the person will, I got 0. I don't think my paper was marked. So look at that. And I'm sure that people receive some of the responses from me. Some in jest. I send them in a tone that is funny. But I tell you, see who's talking. Copycat. See that I show you your 90% plagiarized content and show you the person you collected. Some come and apologize. No, please, I didn't know, sir. I didn't know how we caught or something like that. I didn't know this. Some to come and say, hey, this person, I don't know him or I don't know her. I said, maybe where he copied from, you also copied from there. So you all have a common source. That's why you have been picked. So you may not know the person, but you have done the same work. And the evidence is there. I just take a snapshot and show you what the system exposed. Sakai is a learning management system. Integrated in it is the turn it in plagiarism checker. It checks it. It doesn't know your name. You know, like you come from my hometown, we attend the same church. Turn it in doesn't know you. It just knows your document, whether you're a lecturer or student, PhD or whatever. If you put your publication, suppose I want to do a publication, I've finished a write-up. It will tell me that you have stolen this from here or there or there, there. So that's why I don't have to steal in the first place and go and check if I'll be caught. What is that? Write what you know in your own words. If you have to pick verbatim what someone else said for certain portions, you can't pick the whole thing and come and own it and open quotation and close quotation from beginning of submission to the all those things were picked just to put your minds at rest. Those who feel that I've seen a 0, I saw 2. I don't think that I got 2. Well, it's good that you have an opinion, but that's why you are the student. Someone else is the instructor. And the marking schemes are clear. Okay? It is because of the legality of it. I mean, then the embarrassment it might cause others. Some of those who were overly and insistent. I don't think I did this. I told some of them that if you push us to the wall, I will pull out all those with the red flags. I used to create an online recording like this one to show everyone. See what your friends did. 99% plagiarism, corporate. 99%. And I'm not brothers and sisters in the Lord. What kind of copying is that? How can we commit offices in your hands? We are all not perfect, but there are certain things you should be sensitive. You can't do that in the university, and this is your first entrance to the university. I presuppose that even this may be your first exam result. I think, depending on the department, because exams proper going to start. The UGRC was put into what the revision week. Early part of the revision week. See, this is the first exam. I don't know about the College of Health Science students, but this will be one of your first exams you are taking in the university, and the results have come, and you are looking at them, it should give you a different posture immediately. This is not SHS. I'm going to call my mother to come and help me. No, 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 no. You are an adult and accountable. And so you should read. And I've belabored the point that if I put a password on assessment, you say, well, I mistakenly went to click. You mistakenly clicked what? The password alone should restrict. As soon as you're able to put NAM 225 into a system, open it. You can't call it a mistake. Don't patronize your instructors. I was in level 100 over 2 decades, getting to 3 decades ago. Our brains are not children's brains. We teach critical thinking. Give us some credit, people. So either, like I said in the earlier recording when I released assessment, just in case you saw some zero somewhere, it's pathetic. Either you overly blatantly expect someone's submission and made yours one, or the second instance where it is at the test and quizzes, you blatantly disobeyed an instruction. This is for the makeups. I've not released, I've not, what's the expression, unblocked the makeups. When we released them earlier with assessment 1, assessment 2, because the system is expecting a student to take an assessment when it is given. The makeup was an assessment given, opened. So everybody, according to the system's thinking, is supposed to take it. So if you didn't take it, you score a 0. There, that 0 is not counting. For those who had already done the assessment 1 and 2, the makeup was to help those who didn't do it to make it up. So I am not expecting you to take a makeup. So that 0, it won't go against you. If you already had your assessment, well, see how many times I'm saying the same thing, because right after the recording is sent for people to hear, they will still write, and dog, please, I'm seeing 0 for my makeup, Madam Brian, Auntie Adwa. I said, if you see, have peace of mind and just listen to simple instructions. If you did assessment 1 and you did assessment 2, and so let's go to that announcement also quickly. The original one, not the makeup of it. It is the main one we are rewarding you for. But others could not do the main one. Main what? Assessments 1 and 2. Not interim assessment. We didn't reopen interim assessment. Why? Because you went to the physical, computer lab. You were supervised by the university's paid invigilators. Batch by batch. Wrote the interim assessment and stepped out. For days, you can recall the interim assessment. For days, I think there were 4 days, not all of the hours in the day were committed to CHS, of course. But those days and personnel, computer facility, resources committed to that, you think it was for nothing? It's university's exam. They take serious, they give serious attention to it. That is why you went there. Then afterwards, you come and tell me that, oh, you didn't go and take. So, doc, please, if you can open it. Who told you that? That's how the university works. It's not like that. It's not SHS. I've told you, and even if it's SHS, it's not your school's end of semester exam or test where the headmaster knows your father's friend's uncle and says that, oh, this sister, she was this. No, 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 no. It's done. However, sometimes there are health concerns. The university has regulations around health-related matters. It's an exception to them. But that I slept late and woke up and I was caught in the traffic. I'm non-resident and all those things. And as much as we can bear with you, I am a human being and have a human face. I can bear with you. It is not captured in the university's regulations that because I'm a lecturer and I don't stay on campus. So it justifies my coming to lecture late. Who told you? No. I want to be a lecturer and teach. The schedule I'm giving is 7:30 to 9:20 in the morning for so and so lecture at so and so venue. I have to be there. It's called responsibility. You take it. And then where things didn't go the way you wanted to, you feel accountable for it. You don't pass it on to anyone. My pen stopped writing at the exam hall. That is why I didn't finish. And so that one is supposed to be the examiner or the university's fault. So I am encouraging, psyching, I don't know the expression to use, reorienting you, my dear students, for all the courses you do, not only for critical thinking, but that My focus is the critical thinking. Okay? Have the right posture. You're not doing anyone a favor. You want to earn a degree, which is a good thing. You are receiving all the support you can receive, to help you. This is what the on my screen now, please. Complete final exam, 50% results released for main campus. Do you know how we grade your exam? I'm not supposed to even, it's not your business. I could ignore all the messages. I don't do that. You can ask anybody, even the other courses I do, which are not university wide. I like to feedback because it helps to put people in the right frame of mind. I like to feedback. I'm very patient with feedbacking. And the reason is only one: clarity. Even if the person didn't attain what he or she was looking for to that height, he can be clear in his mind that, oh, this is the reason. So I feedback. Listen, the notice on your screen is showing you that complete. This one was just shared moments ago, the main campus one. College of Health Science, I think you saw yours days ago. And we used less than a week to do the final grading, like we told you we would. It's important for you. The reason why we were able to show you the MCQs immediately after the end of the period of exam. Final exam was done in 2 days. You know that already, the 4th and the 5th. As soon as a person finished doing her exam, that batch, her results for the MCQs was already there. But because others were still writing, we had to wait. It was only the course to wait when the exam period, 4th and 5th of April, were done. Then we release, or release just means I go to my thing as the instructor and the examiner and just select a box. That box will say that release to student. That's all. And you all see it. It's not any hard work that any human being goes to do. Or the MCQs, the multiple choice questions, because the system already has answer keys. So we tell the system, for this question, the correct answer is this. And that's why these people doing it are your instructors. I'm not now looking for a first degree. My colleague, Dr. Pace, is not now looking for a first degree, or Dr. Morgan, or Mr. Kansi, or Dr. Ani, or, Dr. Hussein. Okay, I hope I didn't miss it, or Dr. Boachi. No. We have attained our, what is the expression? We are where we are. Because we qualify to do that. Sometimes I respond to some of the questions. I ask the student, hey, are the instructor? Because the student is not asking for clarity. He's saying that I don't think my thing was correctly mapped. Even that is a safe statement. Some say, ignore them because there are extremes in our instance. But some are very grateful and they want to know, Doc, did something go wrong with my thing? I said, well, go to the subject matter. The content is still there. Go to resource to and find it and read whether verbal dispute or the example, or whether equivocation is the same as this, or whether empirical content is the same as pseudo precision and stuff like that. I can easily reference that because the person is looking for information. But others, they are the instructor of the course. Level 100, they're now looking for how to find a and B, So have a certain orientation when you're addressing the people. So we key in the correct answer, people, listen, into the system and tell the system that if someone chooses A, I'm talking about MCQ, that is the correct one. And so if you see the question, what is the proposition, you choose proposition, is correct. The system already marks you correct. For the 40 questions or 30 questions, depending on which one we are doing, that one is immediately given. So the notice that came at the release of the MCQs, this is the release of the complete, when we finish with the short answer. This one is what I've shown you now. It tells you complete final exam, 50% results, released for main campus. And what do I say there? This is notice to main campus students. The earlier one I sent to College of Health, I put College of Health Science there. People read College of Health Science and come and say, Doc, please, me, I have not seen any change in my thing. Then I ask you, what campus are you? I'm main campus. I said, is it that you couldn't read? Let me show you that one even first. You couldn't read, or when you read, you don't understand, or when you read and you understand, you don't want to mind what the person said. It's so disrespectful. And it's a sign of lack of negligence. I'm referring to this. Look on my screen, please. Release of results for MCQ component of your final exam. Why did we do that? Look at the date, April 6th. Sakai keeps record of everything, every activity on the site. If I'm a lecturer and I enter there, if a TA enters there, the TA has restrictions. If you're a student and enter there, your user activities, those who sent me messages, you know that I've sent you responses. I just show you how many times you were there, when you were there, what you did. And people go and say, Doc, please, I'm sorry. I will not lie again. I tell you, integrity is always required of you. Don't joke around. Keep your integrity intact. God help us all. But keep it intact. Okay, so look, release of a results for MCQ component of your final exam. What did it say? I said, dear UGRC 150, this was for both main and College of Health Science. How was I able to do it? It is MCQ. It's already marked by the system. The setup already had answer keys to it. Okay, so it was instant. We could have even released it the 4th, those who wrote 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. When you finished, I could have shown you your result. But look at how anxious you would have been. And others who are going in. So let's finish the period. Then I don't alter the system. They will be giving notices to people, exam results release, when others are now going to write. They won't understand. There were hundreds. So you finished, and immediately we could do that. Someone will send you a message. The way the results were released early like that, I know they think it was marked, so make it. And I say, why? Look at this. See, that's the scores for the MCQ. I explained what MCQ is, just to help you remember. Component of your final exam have been released to your gradebook as Sakai. Look at what I said next. In bold, give time for the grading of the short answer component to determine your complete exam mark out of 50. Give time for that. When all grading of the final 50 is completed, hopefully in a matter of days, and I'm glad the team worked very hard through the Easter period. God bless you, my teaching assistant. Excellent team. Very committed, dedicated. Pressure for myself. Of course, soft pressure. But because we don't want you, hanging around thinking, what could it have been? You should see the complete, then you know where you stand. Then we can move on to the makeups and pick those who couldn't do the earlier one and put it there. Not those who repeated it. You already had a feedback. It is already zero there. But the others who then when we finish, I told you, we will now have the raw marks. Then we'll grade. But you can compute your raw mark and see your original mark and then we will, as an examining team, we will now look at all the human face to the matter, the different hands, the possibilities of error, the systemic, someone would have had a question that is this and that. So you want to marginally, it's always an upward shift. It's not a reduction. You don't do that. You do an upward shift because the team of lecturers, the style of teaching may be different, the specific question that may have gotten to someone, that and all that. They are not a disadvantage, but you try to apply roles justice as fairness. You make a fair system of a kind. So by the time we finish the raw scores calculations, we will do, by all means, a grading. That is why I get irritated when students send me an email. Doc, please, I got 48 over 50, or I got 66 over this. Please, is it possible for you to shift my attendance and later add to it? I tell you, don't patronize. I will take you to the disciplinary team. I don't like that at all, because the team already has a posture to do that. So it shouldn't look like it is your, tickling, and your patronization that made us do that. We don't like, if you do that, take out any possibility of help from yours. I'll do that. So you realize that you shouldn't come whom you know and come and, Doc, you there, you are madam. What is that? Let us do our work without those. Those with health concerns, one or two of them, that was already recorded. I put them there already. One or two eye issues, they are filed. I told you, let us finish the final computation. Then we'll apply what the university's regulation says regarding that, and everyone will do fine. So look, hopefully in a matter of days, a notice will be sent here at the announcement tool on Sakai to inform you all accordingly. The notice will be sent here when we are done. student will send, I ask you, have you seen any notice telling you that we are done with the short answers? So back to what I started in. Because of how the short answer components are graded, you take question one, excuse me, then you grade all the question one submission, those who got question. You know, the questions are randomized in that pool. If you take question one, you grade for every student that had question one. That's how we grade. We are talking about over, if I'm not mistaken, over 5,000 or so students, 5,500 or something. We can check the site later. Maybe 600 of them got question one. Maybe question two got to 200 others. Question three got to 400 others. Question five got to 500 others. The system does that. Nobody knows who gets what. And that is all part of the way to maintain integrity. That I don't give certain specific questions to people be that I think to have. So the system does that. It just pulls from the pool, depending on who is assessing the quiz at what time. A question, and there is a big pool. So that means when we are grading, some will see the change in their mark from the multiple choice. So the multiple choice was released. Maybe you got 22, 30, 37. It is not 37 over 50 yet by this notice. You still have the short answer component yet to be graded. So the 37 you saw when I released notice that MCQs have been released, is 37 waiting for what? The short answers to come. The reason why we showed you your MCQ is that that one has an objective truth to it. It helps you see that, hey, the ABCD one, this is what I got to. Oh, wow, the ABC, that this is what I got. So I'm waiting to see what the one that manual persons graded will add to it. It helps you to manage. Sorry. It helps you to manage expectations and manage what? Exuberance. That is your feedback for the section A, if you like, the ABCD one. The section B2 will come. How will I know that it has come? When we finish all, we'll send you a notice. Then you get an email. Doc, please, my result for the final exam has changed. I saw 2 marks added. No, it has changed. Then I respond, should it not change when we are still grading? Another person will say, my result hasn't changed. I said, have we said we have finished? Because maybe we haven't addressed the questions that you got. Maybe you got question 6, 42, and 101. If we haven't graded all, you won't know your final mark. So the unnecessary message, and I'm saying this came from just a handful of people, but because of the class size, even a handful, maybe 50 people, they won't allow you to even do the grade. And I don't want the email seated without feedback. So if I see notices like that, questions, then I'll stop my portion of the grading, which we do with a lot of diligence. I'm telling you, people, it's a human thing, but we try to be as diligent as we can. When we notice that some will send a message, something has changed, the tick has become, the grade book says that this one is ticked, this one is not. I said, what has it done? We are still working. So it can be released. When it's released, it becomes a tick. You will see it in your grade that it has been ticked, that it has been released. We are still working on it. It will not show that it has been released. They are not some things that should bother you. But the student doesn't know. Or even if you have given him, he hasn't read, he has sent an email, so you stop the mark and go and check that and come. And go and check that and come. The exam will say, when I sent an email, now my mark has changed. I say, well, actually, it's still grading. It's not your email that came to tell us that, please look at my thing. I haven't added some of my marks. That is why some marks have been added. No, it is here. We are still grading. If we get to question 3, which you had, and we finish grading all question 3, you will see that if just in case you did well, your IA mark will get that additional mark. If you didn't do well with that one, maybe you just got the answer straightforward wrong. Maybe sometimes you get a 1 or 0, depending on the extent of the wrongness. But we had a very human face to it, liberal posture. So you don't, then someone will say, when I sent an email, they've added 4 marks to my thing. So you to go and send an email, I say, why I feel? Why I show? So it means that the earlier person, I should have just ignored him. And then we'll continue with our grade. When we finish, then I come and do a voice recording like this one. Please, please, don't have that posture. When you go and sit on a project or you become a minister for something or international relations officer, don't have that posture. You embarrass our degrees. You have to read and patiently wait. Okay? Some people say, I've waited, that is not changing. The thing is not correct. You want the mark to change. Now you can confidently know if just in case your mark remain the same, it's highly unlikely after the MCQ, even where all the answers were wrong. We tried to sometimes give an effort 1 mark, unless you didn't answer anything there. Or those 1 or 2 people came with unnecessary queries, came to bother me. I told you, even the 2 marks that you see there, you are not entitled to it. You said the 2 there, but it could have been 4. When your answer is totally wrong, is it valid or invalid? The answer is valid. You say it's invalid. You don't have an explanation. We say, oh, don't be too hard. You give 1 mark before. They come and tell me the question listens, for example, is it only 1 mark? I say, oh, sir, you shouldn't have even been given the 1 mark. I take it. I've done that to 2 or 3 people, and I'm going to continue that. If you come and worry us, what is wrong is wrong. Because you are so sure of yourself that is correct. They are coming to tell us that even the 1 mark for effort we gave you, you think that this is a different sickness. It's not like the tension in the exam made you go and type invalid when you wanted to type valid. That's why we want to reward you for at least the effort, 1 mark or something, even if it was wrong. But you come with a query that it should have been correct. It means that is what you think. The person doesn't know it. You don't have to grade him in a way that will present him as knowing it. He doesn't. You will get a 0 for it. Okay. All right. So this is it. And I put this there and then went further to tell you in that notice again on the 6th. This notice is the 6th of April. What did I say? Look at it. I said, note, both makeup assessment results have been blocked from student view for now. I blocked it because those who were not supposed to take the makeup since they had assessment 1 and 2 already were seeing 0 for the makeups. There were 2 makeups, so they will see 0 for makeup 1, 0 for makeup 2. In addition to their original marks that they end assessment 1 and assessment 2 and the interim assessment. That can be frustrating if someone hasn't read this. And they are rather in the majority. The makeups were for originally just about 200 or so students. Okay? Then, because of those 200 or so students, a site of 5,500 and something students are seeing 0, 0, 0. That can be you can't respond to so many queries from there. So block it rather. Block it means it has been released, but I've covered it. So now the student won't see anything until we are done with the final computations, and I now need to fill in the gaps for those who did the makeup. So I'm going to take your makeup mark and put it where you should have. Remember, it is what? Making up. So where you should have done it, I put it there. Okay. That notice I have put there. I even put it as a note so that attention will go into it. Student will still ask you, I'm not seeing my makeup. We did the makeup. And why? Why is it that? Even the tone, so annoying. Thank God for patience. Some people don't know how to write. And they have a certain sense of, I have arrived. You are just in level 100. A good achievement, but please, chill. Others were in level 100 years back. Years back. So the people you are dealing with are not your compatriots. Let them inspire you to greatness and stop the arrogance, especially in your tone of right. How can I get 32/50 in an exam that I learned for it? Let me say, right. Thank God someone taught you. There could have been an error. But if you speak this way, it already smacks of lack of critical thinking. Other people's results changed by 765. This is someone writing to me. I don't want to embarrass them. I would have shown those emails and then some of the slides and the copy work and the repetitive entering into the system that some people did. Okay, but it's not for the purpose. This thing is not for that. My friends own change by 7, 8 or deben. Why is it that mine has changed by only 1? I say, hey. Sometimes I write in jest. I want the people to laugh. I say, hey, So even if your answers were wrong, because other people's own has changed, yours too should change. Someone entered University of Ghana with a grade 6, another entered with a grade 7, another with a grade 13. You are all in the University of Ghana for different reasons and at different places and times. The fact that you're all here doesn't mean you are all earning the same grades. When we are graduating to, some will get first class, second class, upper. And the following people also pass, will also be there. I pray that yours will be a first class. And you can with the right orientation. That is why I'm doing this. My results have been released. What is this for? It's to help people, mentor them, orient them properly. It's still level 100, early days yet. But then, so that you don't get so complacent, just in case you did very well. Okay. Or you don't also get too down just in case you didn't get it the way you wanted. It's a new terrain. So don't think that it's SHS where you had A's. No, this university is maturity. You are honored for the results you get. Honorary degree. You do with me. It's not who was first and who was last. You are graded. So you have compatriots in the A column. Someone got 80, someone got 99. You are all colleagues, collegial. So the grading system speaks of that. You get 0, someone gets 44. You are all a father committee and so on. I guess that is clear enough. Then I said, when final computations begin, we will unblock that also. So you see that now. Now that we are done with the final exam grade, we are going to compute, add, pick this one, pick that, pick that. That is why the system is telling I have what's the thing? I've deactivated the psychiatry that does the computation by itself. Because if we do that, if we allow it to do it, some people will be scoring grades that are not theirs, negatively and positively. Makeups are part of the assessment set. The system will grade all when you were not supposed to take the makeup. So if you send me an email, Doc, please, I've seen that they said this mark will not be calculated. And I said, I have given you a notice that clearly shows you how you yourself should do the calculation. That is how we'll do it. If we let the system do it, it will say that you had 10 for assessment 1, you had 10 for assessment 2, your interim assessment, you had maybe 28. That should be 48, right? Very good performance. But if you tell you didn't do the makeup, that one is 0. And you didn't do makeup 2, that one is 0. It will work out because they are all assessments opened on the side. You see why we don't like opening makeups? People don't know. Oh, Doc, please open it for a second. When you open, the whole system is changed because the expectation is that every student on the side must take it. So we don't like it, but you had to help students who came in late or for some reason were still finding their way on Sakai and what have you. You go and open, now they won't let you sleep. So pick the mark you earn for assessment 1, write it down. The one you earn for assessment 2, write it down. You don't need makeup then. If you have assessment 1 and assessment 2, you're done. Take your interim assessment. How will you know that? I said it here. You should see your assignment. Assignment 10%, test 10%, interim assessment 30 marks, all released to your grade book. Then I gave you a recording, just like the one I'm doing now. This is a bit expansive than the earlier one. Giving you feedback on the grading of your assessments, which can be found here. That recording is still there, the channel. I've sent you the link to help you have clarity as to why perhaps, oh, that's why the makeup was not released. Oh, that's why she has blocked it. Oh, okay. Oh, that's why our side, we haven't done this. Oh, okay, they are still grading out this. Oh, okay. Then we don't have hundreds of students coming to ask the same thing because the recording said that. Okay, and I give you all the details. I tell you, send all your queries to this email. People will send it to the UG email. And I've already told you why it won't help us. We have to keep records of what the feedback, and that's 1. 2, I have to know that this is a UGIC 150 issue. If you put it in the other, I teach other thousands of students for other courses. I may even tell you that, but I told you already that the IA is coming on next week, the 17th. Because as I'm speaking with you, I teach a student group that will be writing their IA next week, 17th April. Yes. So if you send me an email, put it in that other one, I may be giving information that is not for your good. Simple obedience. If you have any query, send it here. The student will put it in your UG and copy the 100 times. Sometimes, which means I will address that concern only when I get to you there, because I'll be dealing with other issues on that same side. If you want to be attended to promptly, put it here. And I've given you, send all queries to this. You'll do fine. The last thing, then I think that I will be at peace with myself. And then we can go quickly and go and do our grading. This is what I said, complete final exam, 50% results. This is where I said, now that everything is done, I'm giving you a notice. College of Health Science received this earlier. This is main campus, yours. That the complete, look at the note, the emphasis, capital letter, final exam results. That's 50% of your total in the course. Where are the others? Earlier circulated, I've repeated it, okay? Is now released to your grade book. Final computations of your total in the course will now begin in earnest. You are going to do the final computation. How? That is a pertinent question someone will be asking. So how will they do the? Note that your final scores in the course will be computed as follows. 1, assessment 1 into bracket or its makeup. Only if you missed it. You see that if you missed assessment 1 and so you took the makeup, I will take your makeup to replace it. But if not, it is your assessment 1 I'm picking. Okay, that one will come for 10%. Assessment 2, those who are saying, "Dog, please, can you open a makeup again?" I say, hey, you open a makeup of a makeup. Those who did it earlier will now be accounting to the system for not just assessment 1 and 2 makeups, but also assessment 1 and 2 makeup of makeup. You know what that means? It's not a straightforward matter, sir. Apart from all the other concerns that you can't sit and decide on when you want to write assessment or take a course. No. Okay. So please understand. All I'm doing is to give you understanding and then an assurance for others who felt, hey, so where is that my mark? Because they are not reading to be at peace. The same for assessment to look on the screen, 10%, the interim assessment 30%, final exam 50%. When you put it all together, you can calculate, watch your raw score out of 100% afterward. And check your end total mark. What has, if you know this, you have read this, why are you saying the system said this one will not be added and this one? Because we have opened a lot of makeups. So we have to lock them. If we don't lock some of the things, those who don't have to take makeup will be held accountable for something they didn't have to do. That's the reason. So don't look at how the system will compute anything. I'm showing you how it will be computed. We'll pull that Excel sheet and pull this and pull this and pull this and total it. The raw score is what you can also do yourself. But then we will grade. So it won't obviously be the raw score because it's a team marked something, it's a team thought something, it's a system something. So you have to, have all those considerations in mind when you are now finally, checking the person's real position on the grading scale. Let that be the instructor and the examiner's issue. You focus on, you can check your raw score now. And then if you know you got 67, you can interpret that. If you know you got 83 already, you can interpret what that means. If you got 12 too, you can interpret what that means for yourself, peacefully in your home. Now what? Someone will say, so when will we know that agenda? When, there we go, look on my screen now. When MIS is where the final computations, your grade, whether it's A, B, C, will be at the will be uploaded. That is where we put it. I will put a mark. So let's say your total mark, even after we do our own grading scale, say you got 46. I said, say, it's an instance I'm giving you. You say you got 46. And then we did our grading. We say, okay, all 46 will belong to, will be given D. 46 is an E, it's a receipt for you. But let's say we agreed, okay, we'll do some +5 for everyone, or +10, or we'll marginalize this or that. So instead of 46, for example, you get 56. I will put 56 mark. Mark is a number. 1, 2, 3. Put 56 in the system. The system will interpret it as a grade. Grade is A, B, C, D. So the 56 will become, 56 I think is D plus, because D is 50 to 54. So 56 is a D plus. So you will see D plus if, capital IF, a conditional statement, if, for instance, we decided to do that kind of marginal grading upscale, okay? But for you now, you should know that your 46 is actually E. That is what I want you to do. And allow us complete all the computations, margins, those who may for lack of experience on the site did so and so and so. Okay, we can do it this way. That's what an examiner does. When we finish, or we will upload the final results on the MIS, not on Sakai. I didn't say on Sakai. Final results are not posted on Sakai. If you come for your transcript, it's not Sakai that gives you. Sakai is the lecture room, the virtual classroom. Okay, it will be on your MIS where you saw your admission stuff, where you check your courses. I didn't say STS, I said MIS. So if you don't know that, then you go and learn that now. Okay. We will now, after we've done that, I said when it is completed, look at how completed is in caps. I don't want people to come bothering me when we start uploads. Oh, doc, everybody has seen their own. That's so naive and childish. Didn't you learn appeal to masses? Everybody has this. All the people have the people are saying this, and who cares about what someone is saying? Ah, it's a class of 5,000. We are working patiently and diligently, so we are not in a rush, but we are not sluggish at all. You see, look at how fast we have worked through the Easter. Happy, he's risen indeed, and I'm still grading and responding to queries because we want to serve you well together with the team. So when we start the uploads, I'm sure that some 50 people will see theirs first. Then by the next hour or so, some other 50 will see, some other 100. Give us time to work. Don't interrupt our work with unnecessary questions unless it is bothering you. We are glad to respond to them. Okay. When it is completed, the word is when it is completed, not when we start, not when some people see their own. You will receive notice here on Sakai for your specific campus. So go to Sakai and read, because if it's College of Health Science that we are done with, the notice will be there. If the College of Health Science person comes to tell you on your WhatsApp platform or your group discussion somewhere that, hey, I've seen my result, doesn't mean you should see yours. Admissions were done in batches. You see that? Just be confident in what you have done and relax and let us work. We communicate with you, okay? What's the expression? On almost everything, look at how many times you have communicated. So you receive communication. If you are bothered, just send a message here. Doc, please. I know that I said when we complete, you send a notice. I don't know if I've missed it. You should come and say that only if you've gone to the site. Your course site on Sakai. Gone to the announcement too. Looked at the announcements there. Ensure that you've read all the announcements there. And you didn't get a response to what you are coming to us before you come and ask. Otherwise, I'll go into the system and subtract marks from what. Okay. And then I said, if you have any queries, post it here. And I think that, and I give you all my, I don't know, the things that will give you the confidence that the person writing to you knows what he or she's about and is authorized to do that, has the authority. That's what I mean, to do what they are. That's why I put all these things there. I'm not there to show you what I am, but it helps you know that this is coming from a senior lecturer who is the examiner of the course and is coordinating the UGRC 150 critical thinking course for the team. That is the authority with which she's telling you all these things. If after that you still think that whatever, then I don't know how we can help you. Okay, so most people have done very well, and I'm impressed. General, the team is generally impressed as well. I want to make sure I've mopped up very well. So I've talked about, just one more quick thing that someone asked about. She says, Doc, but initially I got 6. And then before you released the final result, it had become 0. Then I went to pull her assignment, to her. And I showed her, you see your percentage of copying, 99%. The only difference was her name. And the other person had a Muslim name. I don't want to say it here, my dear lady, but you know. Then I said, because we don't go witch hunting when we are grading. We open the document and grade. And we, oh, okay, so if your work wasn't copied, you would have had the 5 that you had. It was 5 rather. You would have had 5/10. It wasn't too good, but we rewarded the effort for the essay. Others had 9, some had 10, some had 7, some 2, 3. I've seen 1 or 2 threes, but it was just to give you something. Because the person wrote nothing, they know. They didn't even answer the question. Okay, and all that. But your 5 that you saw earlier when we graded and we released. As we were doing, I told you when grading is complete, we will send a notice. After every grading is done, then we went to check the plagiarism. So your 5/10 would have been the raw score you get, the mark you would have had if the work was yours. When we went to check, you had copied everything that the thing that wasn't proper to work was also copied. So don't tell me that I would do. But first I had 5 or 6. Why did that? Later I became 0. I said, please, it was a copied work. I said, oh, but if I copied, why is that? I'm going to take a snapshot of a work and show me. And then told her, if you copied, then we have given you a mark for the work. Now we'll go and check what the system says. When you exit the marking pane, then you see the submissions and they are flagged work. We check the flag, it's 99% copied. Only 1% is yours, and it was your name. I said, oh, please, I'm sorry. I didn't know that they will see it. And I said, you didn't know that you see. The fact that you haven't been caught stealing before doesn't mean you are not a thief. It's a fallacy. Argument from ignorance, that's the name. Argumentum ad ignorantium. We didn't do it. Now informal fallacy. It's a fallacy. So the critical thinking, it must ring in your mind. But she was a bit more respectful in her feedback. She said, I think that I've learned a lesson now. I hope not to copy in the future. Thank you, doc, blah, blah, blah. We ended it. So there's no need coming. That's why I said the other person that she copied had a Muslim name. They know themselves. So that should explain why. Okay. The second one says, I can't see the result. Some of them, they were marked. It was visible to me, but we're still checking the plagiarism thing. So you won't see a mark. When we finished everything and we released it, then you see. So it's not like if I didn't go and tell her or the thing there and can you see my mark? No, it was visible to me, the instructor, the examiner. I can see all, but it won't be visible to you. 0 is a mark. So after this, don't come and say, oh, please, maybe it's visible to you, but it's not visible. Please, I'm seeing 0. So what is visible to you? So 0 is a mark. If you end the 0, you either copied or if it's a test and quiz, you went back into the system. If you need to. Don't worry me again, please, respectfully. Okay? Compute what is left. We will have a very liberal heart, mother's heart, when we are grading, but we have to help you to shape yourself very well. And go into the system to delete things here, I beg you. We are not mandated to do that. Okay, I think that our results have to be released after we rechecked. I've said all that. Plagiarism, no. Calculate yourself. I've said that. Don't let the system do the calculation. It will calculate your mark downwards because of the makeups we open. It's not everybody that had to take it. So if we let the system do the computation, it will include the makeup 1, makeup 2, plus the original assessment and tell you that you didn't do 2 makeups, but you were not required to do it. So we want you to be minded. Again, take note that if you went back into the system after you have submitted, you were trying to cheat. That's how the system interprets it. You want to go and see if your answer, your questions will change so that you do another one. It will score you 0. Straightforward. And it can be my fault. Okay? All right. Thank you all very much. I enjoyed the semester. I'm sure you did also. So we are going to quickly mop up what we have left. And when we are through with that, like we said, we'll send a notice to that effect. Always make your Sakai platform your reference point and you will be at peace. My name is Dr. Nancy Miles Bafo GMP. Thank you all and have a wonderful, wonderful exam time. You will do fine, okay? All the best. Take care.